Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing another deck profile for set 2. This is me doing Beerus this time, so we're jumping on to red today. We're probably going to do blue tomorrow. I'm going to do a Vegeta deck profile, starter Vegeta, because I think starter Vegeta is going to be absolutely crazy. I also think Beerus has a very, very good chance of being crazy as well, so I'm starting with decks that I've been thinking about more or less since I uploaded the full set reveal. And I've been theory crafting with certain decks. Android 17 and 18 was obviously yesterday. I'm doing Beerus today. I have also put together a starter coup build, but I just think that Beerus I think it kind of does it better. So for me, I'm just going to stick with Beerus on this one. I'm going to upload probably my top 4 picks for the next set. That's probably going to be the first 4 videos, and then I'm going to start recording. Probably the new leaders will be the next round, so we'll do one of the new leader in every set, and then from there I'm just going to pick and choose a couple of leaders that people are maybe asking for, or ones that again I've been theory crafting. So I have been theory crafting around the Goku Black leader. I'm not a big fan of the Zamasu leader from this set, but I do think Goku Black next set gets a big buff as well, so I'm probably going to do decks like that, so I'll probably put in the starter coup list for that one as well. And yeah, I think that next set is going to be very good for a lot of decks. I think that every set 1 leader is still super viable next set as well. I don't think any of them have been pushed out of the meta really, except maybe Ginyu, maybe Trunks. That's probably the top 2 that come to mind. They both did get a little bit of support this set. Not good enough to make them into the top tier though. So for me personally, I still think that they're unfortunately trash, but they're yeah. For me, it's a weird one. I'm also going to upload another tier list, which is going to include all the new leaders as well. So I'll probably be uploading that as well over the next few days, so keep an eye out for that as well, guys. But we're just going to jump straight into this. The Android 17 and 18 video yesterday was about 22 minutes or something, so I'm going to try and get through these in about 15 minutes each. So we're just going to make a start on Beerus. So Roshi, still the best self-awakener in the game, or for red anyway. I absolutely love this card still. We have Basil. Basil is a new card. He is a top 5 for any non-Basil 4 or less tournament of power in its special traits, right? We run a lot of the new stuff in here, so there's no reason not to play this card. I think it's a great card for the TOP cards, so he's in here for that reason. We also run 3 of the Weesees that's just a minus 5k. This was a big one for me. I didn't know if I was actually going to include this. I'm still iffy on whether or not this should be here. I feel like red in the build that I have put together is lacking 10ks compared to what red is in set 1. So there is the opportunity where I cut these 3 and maybe add in 3 10ks for something else that's a 10k combo that's also very good. But I think that the minus 5 is still valuable. I still think it's valuable, so it's in here for now. Again, once I test and I feel what works and what doesn't, this might get cut. Self-Awakeners, we've got Krillin. We all know what this card does. Hit, we all know what this card does. These are just our turn 2 plays, basically. These are why they're here. We still run 3 Fuas. 1, because it's a 10k combo, but 2, the minus 15k is still very good in Beerus. I was about to say Basil there, sorry. It's still very good in Beerus. Between our leader and Fua, we have access to minus 25k. If we have a hit established as well, we have access to minus 30k. It's still very good, right? So that's why it's in here. We run 2 of the promo Gokus. This is another one that's maybe going to get cut. I like these because it's 25k, right? We need to board 25k bodies to attack into Broly, because I still think Broly is going to be very relevant next set. So we have 2. There's an opportunity to put that up or put that down again, depending on what we do with this Whis, but that's how I'm feeling about that currently. We run 4 of the new Gohan. This Gohan replaces Goku in this deck for one particular reason: it minuses. So it minuses rather than KOs cards. Yes, between Goku and between Beerus, we can kill a 30k or less. Sorry, 30k. Let's just call it 30k. We can also do 25 with this, so I'm just going to use 30 as the baseline there. But there's a lot of KO protection, especially in yellow. Green's going to have access to KO protection, so for me the minus is worth it. Plus it's 5k combo, whereas Goku's a dead card in hand. So that's kind of why I've taken this route, and with there being the addition of more 0ks, which I'll get to in a second, I needed space where I could put in combo power, and Gohan is just the next best replacement to Goku, honestly. And I think because he minuses, and he is 25k as well, obviously if your leader's awakened on your turn, that's the only issue with this card for me, is that defensively this is only a 20k, so it is quite susceptible in that sense. But do you know what? It is what it is. It gets us what we need for turn 3, and being able to, minus a card off the board with Beerus, it's still very strong. Then we run 3 of the Android 17s. This was the 0k I was referring to. It's permanent, is your leader with U7, which Beerus is, gains plus 5k, so it means our leader is 25k on both turns. And if my leader is awakened, this card cannot be KO'd by skills, meaning it's a great card into green. We just never attack with this card, and they have to deal with the 25k leader on repeat. It's also good into yellow, I suppose. Red, kind of. It depends on the build they take. If they go a minus route, then this kind of loses its ability. But if they're playing the Goku, obviously they can't now just minus this by 5 and KO it. It no longer happens. So, yeah, I still think that this is an absolutely great card, and it's playable off another card I'll get to in a minute as well, which is this card. I didn't realize this was next. Kefla, 25k. You draw 1 and then play a battle card with 3 or less in TOP and its special trait. So we can play the Android 17 and we can play the Gohan. We can also play the Basil. There's not really many great options for Beerus, honestly. But these are fine. Like, we run, 7 of these between these two, and we run 4 of these. So there is a world where we play something anyway. I'd rather not play the Basil, of course, but it can come up. It's just, it's there, okay? Plus, she's a 10k combo. She's absolutely nuts. She's an insane card. We run 2 of this Gohan. Once again, it's a 5k combo, but its effect is essentially Yellow Frieza. So if we can get our opponent to 1 life, we have a 4-cost 20k attacker. And I'll get to something in a second. Once we get to 6 energy, we can really put out a lot of damage on this card, making it very difficult for leaders to deal with on 1 life. So this is why it's here. It's a game finisher, pretty much. We still run 2 secret rares. The secret rare in Beerus is great because of the minus 15. If our opponent has a 30k card in rest mode, we're swinging 30 into 5. This is a great card. For Beerus, the best, or at least the leader that this synchronizes best with is Beerus for sure. If we minus something and we attack, if they've got a 20k on board and we put it down to 5k and then we attack into it, if they combo out of it not to take the damage, we always have our leader skill to just finish the card off. So no matter what, we're kind of getting removal off of this as well, and I think that it's really good. I still think it's ridiculously strong. Then we run 3 of the 5-cost double strikers. It's still one of our best game enders. If our opponent's on 2 life, minus is 20. Between our leader, we can minus 30, so it means that we can kill off yellow coolers, things like that. It's still a great card. But this is the end of the 0Ks, but I'm just going to show you. So we have 3, 6, we have 8. If we put the Gokus in there, you're looking at 10 to 12, depending on the number you run. I just think that, honestly, Goku kind of loses its value this set. It's still a great card. This is the thing, I'm still arguing with myself on this because Goku is still an absolutely crazy card. But the KO protection puts me off it, and that's why I would rather stick to minus, and it plays in well with the Beerus strategy. So yeah, that's my logic behind it. Again, we'll test, we'll see how we get on with it. Then we have Rumshi. So Rumshi's in here for 2 reasons. One is a 10k combo, which we sorely needed. And his on play effect of being able to kill a 30k or less, meaning we can kill a 40k or less between our lead skill. But once again, it is KO. So depending on how matchups play and what board states are, there's still a lot of cards we can KO. But I think that Rumshi's ability to just be a 30k attacker as well. For me, it's not my turn 5 play, right? This is not the optimized turn 5 play for sure in Beerus. But, again, depending on board state, depending on the situation, it's a fine card. That's all I'll say about it. Worst case scenario, it's a 10k, so we just use it as combo power. That's it. Plus, oh no, he's not. I'm surprised they're not TOP. Did all the gods from this set not get TOP? Either way, doesn't really matter. Then we have 4 super combos. Shin is still the best super combo, honestly. Yeah, there's no reason not to run Shin. I mean, the new super combo, which is TOP, there is no way to search it out. It doesn't matter. It really, you could pick any super combo. It really doesn't matter. And then we have Glimpse of a Hidden Arrogance. This card, for me, is a massive buff to red. It's a 25k buff on power. Plus, if the card is over 30, we add a battle card with 4 or less from the drop to the hand, right? This is crazy. So, my ideal game finisher if my opponent's on 1 life is Gohan with this. So on 6 energy, we essentially go up to 65k, plus we add a 10k. It doesn't have to be a 4 cost, so if we don't have a Kefla, we could put in a Krillin. It doesn't matter, it's just 4 or less. So we just literally grab any 10k combo and stick it onto this. So for all of our energy, to be fair, but only for 2 cards in hand, so to speak, so for the playing of Gohan, and then for the Glimpse of the Hidden Arrogance, we're at 75k. That's insane. You know, another couple of 10ks and the game's almost over, right? So that's the idea behind the game finisher. This really only works in tandem with our opponent only being on 1 life. Offensively, anyway. Defensively, yeah, defensively, if we keep 2 energy open, red is not good at keeping energy open, which is why this card for me, while it is a big buff, yes, it's also a downside because it costs 2. It had to cost 2 because it's a plus 25k combo power, plus we gain maybe an additional 10. It had to be a 2 cost, but red constantly looks to tap out. It constantly looks to go, right, I'm at 3 energy, play 3 energy. I'm at 4 energy, play 4 energy. I'm at 5 energy, play 5. Like, it's only when you hit 6 energy that you get to play an additional card. So, for me personally, if we can get our opponent down to 1 life on turn 5 with this, let's say, if our opponent's at 7-8 cards in hand, honestly, I still fancy my chances here. Like, I would play the Gohan, put this on it, add a 10k, dump it onto here, so we're at 75k, and then we just combo, try and get to like 115, 125, something like that. If we can get to that stage, the game's almost over. It doesn't really matter that we've double striked them the turn previous. The only reason it would matter is if our opponent hits us on the clapback and beats us that way. But again, getting our opponent down to 1 life in red is very, very key, because we could either go multiple routes. You know, we could play Gohan, or we could play this. Yeah, there are ways that we can just chip away before we go for this all in. But again, it purely depends on the situation. So it's kind of give or take. People can sort of choose what to do as they will. But yeah, this was the idea behind the deck, was that we would try and go into the Gohan, into the Glimpse of the Hidden Arrogance, and use that as our game finisher, or use the 5-drop as our game finisher. But again, I think that red has so many good cards this set that it's hard to find a proper build with a proper ratio that I'm comfortable with. I still think it's really difficult. But I said, this Whis is still a great card, and just with it being a 5k and 2 with it being another 1 cost, I'm just not sure on it. I don't know. I'm iffy on that. I don't know if there's just something better to play for maybe 2 or 3 energy. My problem is that I don't want to cut this card and put in Goku's. Yes, fair enough, it means that we have access to bigger attackers and we have more 3-cost battle cards, but we can't play it off of Kefla, and honestly, on turn 3, I don't know which of these I'd prefer to just play. For me, Android 17 is still a great card. Just turning our leader into a 25k defensively is absolutely insane. It's really, really good. But yeah, I'm still thinking the cogs are still turning as to what we could fit in here. But I think red is very tight for space now, because there are still so many good cards from set 1. Like Hit and Krillin. You know, Krillin was a starter deck, but Hit from set 1. The Roche from set 1. The Whis as well, obviously the promo, things like that. There's still a lot of good set 1 cards, but yeah, it's going to be a ratio game, I think. I think we're going to have to see how this plays into certain matchups. Broly is still... The way that I gauge any red deck is how easily can I deal with Broly? Or how bad does my deck play into Broly, right? That's what it comes down to for me all the time. So, we have a lot of good cards here. You know, we have a 20 here, but we can just put a 5k on it, which is fine. This is 25k, this is 25k, this is 25k, but I don't know how often I'm going to swing with it. But again, it's 25k if we need to. Kefla's 25k, and she can also play a 25k if we have either of these. from hand. So I think that this build plays very well into Broly. I also think it plays well into yellow. So for me, I think that this is as good as a list as I could think of as a version 1. Until I can actually get my teeth into set 2 and I can actually play and test, this for me is the optimized list. But again, I say the optimized list. I hate using that term because it's version 1. But I think this is a very good starting point, and I think that this is going to be very strong into most matchups. I think blue is still going to be a bit of a playground for red because they just bounce your cards back and forward constantly, and you know it's exactly what blue wants to do into red. They just stop us from playing, you know, one card and protecting it. They just keep bouncing them back to hand. So yeah, but this is it. This is currently what I'm dealing with Beerus. I do have a starter coup list which I'll probably upload next week at some point. But yeah, this for me is very good. I think that Beerus is going to be really strong next set, and the new cards lend into it very well. But I'm just going to quickly add up here. So we have 4, 8, 11, we have 15, and then we have 17 10Ks. I think that's enough. I think that's more than enough. I think red still wants to be at that 10k combo. It's still, even though we have a lot of 0ks, we need a lot of 10ks. And again, when we're going for game finishers, the more 10ks we run, the better. So, yeah, I still like it. I still think this list is very strong. But, guys, any feedback, anything that I've missed from Red Set 2 or anything from Set 1 that I've left out that you think that should be in this deck, hit me up in the comments. Obviously, I'm always open for the discussion. There might be a reason why I've left stuff out. If not, it's something I can revise and maybe do another deck profile of Beerus once Set 2 is out and once I've played a couple of games with it. But yeah, this is the current list, and let me know what you think. And if you haven't already, please give the video a like, and if you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.